This week's video was requested by Nicola over on Facebook. She actually requested it 9 weeks ago. I finally got around to doing it. Sorry it's taken so long. Basically, her question was, she was looking for some guidance on how to animate a clay ball rolling into shots and then arms and limbs popping out and potentially a head as well. So I'm showing that in real time. I've put a little clock at the bottom which came off my laptop screen and it shows you me animating this. I animated this super quickly. This is something that any of you watching could do. I animated this in 32 minutes. Now I am quite a fast animator. It'll probably take you a bit longer, but you can see the only rigging that I'm using is white tack. You could also use clay, and I'm just lifting up my shapes underneath. I've animated this with a shot from above, so I've got my camera mounted above the table. And the limbs are just solid clay, and then the ball it has a core of tin foil, just screwed up tin foil, and then I covered that in clay just to make it a little bit lighter to lift up. And I kind of animated this as I went along. I didn't have a clear plan to it. I just sort of let the character lead the animation. However it wanted to move, I just leant into that. When I got it to stand up on that one leg, it wasn't as stable, so it kept dropping, kept falling down. I had to keep picking it back up. So I just thought I will let the character fall back down and then I'll have the other limbs pop out with it lying down. And this looked quite nice from above as well. And then the idea was that it would sort of jump back up and then the head would pop out and it would land again. It's a bit of a strange character design. It's sort of a kind of Hulk meets frog meets I don't know what. I basically just sat there for about maybe 40 minutes, sculpted some arms and legs and just had fun. That was the character design I came up with. Yeah, it was pretty easy. You can see there's nothing special, nothing particularly clever that I'm doing with this. It's a little bit weird, but I think it's fun, and hopefully it's given some ideas to Nicola about how she could animate her clay coming in and limbs popping out. Another reason why I decided to animate this from above is because it meant that you could conceal the rig. So similar to the video I recently made with the book, I'll put a link in the description box if you haven't seen that. Where possible with stop motion, if you can conceal your rigging, it means you don't have to edit that out in post-production. So by animating this from above, I was hiding that rig. If this character was in midair and it was perhaps even standing on its feet, the whole character would require armatures to support the weight, and there would be lots of rigging involved, which then means a lot of post-production. And I think most of you that watch my channel, you just want simple solutions. You just want to have fun and get good results quite quickly. So this is a way of having a ball of clay roll into shot, arms and legs pop out in a really simple way that any of you lot could achieve. And just by lifting up the character slightly in moments, it made the animation a bit more dynamic. Otherwise it would have just been a flat character just sitting on the table and the limbs popping out. So I raised it up slightly to give it that extra bit of something that just makes it a little bit more interesting. I don't know what it is about me, I can't seem to animate slowly. I think the longest I've ever spent animating anything has been maybe 3 hours, probably not even 3 hours. It's part of why I feel like I could never be an animator on a TV show or a feature film, because I just can't seem to slow myself down. I had an audition once for a kids' TV show and I was actually animating at 24 frames per second because they were auditioning me for a feature film that was being made as well. And I just found it really hard to slow myself down, and I just raced through it. And, you know, sometimes my animation's probably not as good as it could be because of that, but that's just how I like to work. And, you know, there is no wrong or right way to animate. I've lent into the way that I like to work, but I am going to try and slow myself down and do some more ambitious projects, because I know that if I did slow myself down, I'd be able to animate even better things. If you also have a suggestion for a video, no matter how weird it sounds, you know, let me know in the comments, because I might just do it. It might take me 9 weeks, it might take me 12 weeks, but I will get there eventually. Thank you very much to Nicola for the suggestion on this video. If you enjoyed this video, you might also like this clay Hulk I animated about a year ago. And if you don't fancy watching that one, then maybe the one that YouTube suggests on the right will be more up your street.